everybody. Hello. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my live. How is everybody doing tonight? Hello. We are on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Let me get organized. We are on all of the platforms tonight. Hi, Instagram. It's so good to see all of you tonight. Hello, TikTok. Let me turn my mirror around. Hello. Hi. Welcome, everybody. I'm Christy-Faith. I am here with you tonight live to talk about all things education. If you are a parent who is not homeschooling, please stay, ask questions. If you're curious, are you considering homeschooling? Is it something you've always thought about but didn't have the courage to do because it takes quite a bit of courage? Let me know. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Oh, I forgot to tell Thrive that I'm live right now. That's okay. I usually tell Thrive, come hang out. But I forgot to do that tonight. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see you guys tonight. I'm getting organized with my papers. I can go over some statistics if you want. Did you guys hear the news about how Oregon, this happened about a month ago, but Oregon dropped standards for graduation? And the way it was kind of painted in the media is that graduation rates are skyrocketing in Oregon. No, they just eliminated any requirements. Oh, thanks, Erin. Hi. Good. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'm Christy-Faith. Let's get myself even. I am on TikTok here. Hello. Mwah. I am on Facebook and YouTube right there. Hi, guys. Love you so much. Love those platforms. And then, of course, we love our Instagram. Hi, everybody on Instagram. I'm here tonight to answer any and all educational questions you might have or homeschooling questions. I'm Christy-Faith. I'm the author of the book, Homeschool Rising. On Instagram, it's backwards, but I figured out how to flip my camera correctly on TikTok. Yay! I feel fancy. And I have been in education for over 20 years. I advised A-listers and billionaires, celebrities on the educational decisions for their kids. We ran a boutique learning center and consulting firm and deconstructed, and I talk about that story a little bit in my book, and we turned to homeschooling and had an awakening, and that is the choice that we have made for our family. We have 4 kiddos now and are living our best homeschool life. If you guys don't know my history, on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, I actually started out as a TikToker, but I'm now on all of the platforms. I love all of the platforms. I love all the flavors of the platforms. They're all different and they're all great. You just never know. You post a video, you never know how it's going to do on any of them. I actually don't care how my videos do. So it doesn't make or break my day. I'm not one of those creators that needs to make viral videos. But at the same time, I do love making content for you guys. I have my decaf coffee. It is real. People, I've been accused of having coffee as a prop in my videos before. And let me tell you, my coffee issues, it's never a prop. It's real. And not only do I love coffee and have a caffeine addiction, which is completely unhealthy, but the sensory of warm drink is something that I love. And if you ever, and this is a little secret, I sometimes get nervous when I film. And so if I am holding something, it gives me something to do with my hands. So, but tonight I just wanted a relaxing warm drink. And this is decaf. I'm proud of myself that it's decaf. I can probably drink caffeine 5 minutes before I fall asleep and be just fine. Okay, I am sure you guys have educational questions, homeschooling questions. Please ask in the comments, how are your kids doing with their motivation? How are they doing with their reading? I want to get you on the right path. I am going live more often right now because Thrive Homeschool Community, we are closing enrollment next week. About a week from today, we have to close enrollment because we're starting live the Failsafe Homeschool Setup. So I'm making sure that I'm going live a little bit more often to answer any questions people might have. There's also the best sale we have ever offered since founding members. that is going on right now because we kind of feel bad that we have to close the doors, but we have to. There isn't much more I can handle with the book launch and the way I coach you guys through the curriculum selection process with your kids, because you actually DM me and I take the time to get to know you and DM you back. It takes a lot of hours in the day. So we have to close enrollment. It's springtime is just a lot more messaging in Thrive because everyone is making their curriculum decisions all at the same time. There are a lot of new homeschoolers that are really starting to get nervous about starting for the next year. So it's just a lot more time, and it should be. It really should be in the spring, but for me to be able to maintain the quality that I want in Thrive and the time that I want to dedicate to the people who are in Thrive, we are closing the doors so that I can do that. Yes, do we have a question?
Aaron just sat down with your book.
Aaron, yay.
Daisy said, I was going to wait until the book got on Kindle, but I couldn't wait. Ha ha ha.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you got it. Yeah, I think it's a couple weeks away from Kindle. The publisher hasn't told me yet.
Jules?
Hi, Jules.
Hey, bestie. Aaron
Hi,
also
Jules.
says, I'm in North Carolina, and we have to test each year. I don't know what test to do for my third grader.
Okay, so what are your options? So if you go to your main state org, which you have one, you have a very strong one, and they should tell you what tests are appropriate for, that they accept, basically. So let's talk about homeschool testing for a second here, because it's vital that we are legal when we homeschool, that we are obeying the laws of our land. So what's great about homeschooling and freedoms in general is that homeschooling laws differ in each of our states, and we have 50 states, so we have 50 different sets of homeschooling laws. The great news is that since the early 90s, homeschooling is legal in all 50 states. I don't know if you guys realize, but it was not. It was not, and I have friends who were threatened for jail. So please know that your freedoms were fought for legally and are not that new. So let's talk about testing. A lot of the states that require testing, they give you several ways to do it. Usually they give you a list of standardized tests that are acceptable to them, and you can choose from a list. But a lot of the states also have another option, which is you can go a private route and have an assessment done. Sometimes the assessment needs to be done by a credentialed teacher or an educational professional of some sort. So there's that route as well. And usually the states have that route because they can't discriminate against people who have intellectual disabilities who would never score well on a standardized test. So there has to be another way to assess progress. And that is why, if you're wondering, why are there all these different ways? That is one of the reasons. Yes.
Okay, we have 3 great questions over on Instagram.
Yay! Hi, Instagram.
We got Amy, Christ Follower Mama 5, and Mika's babe. Mika's mom. Mika.
Is she correcting you live?
No. But we're going to get to all of you. We're going to start with Amy. Just a few months in, I'm a mom with a medical condition, so limited on taking my son out on field trips.
Yes.
Also, I don't feel like the right person to help him when he needs help with certain subjects.
Yes, we all feel that way. So I would love for you to consider joining Thrive Homeschool Community. The price will never be as low as it is now, because I want you to have community, and I want you to have support. Yes, there are a lot of parents that are in your same boat that are not mobile. I don't know your level of mobility, but are not able to take their kids on lots of field trips and things like that. I can relate. My mother is on oxygen. She is a COVID survivor, and she is limited, but she makes it work. And so I'm sure you've brainstormed a lot of ideas of, did she say she was in a co-op? Could other parents? Yeah, so lots of options for you. If you're in a co-op, maybe you can have agreement with other parents. Hey, if you take my kid with you on the field trip, we can reciprocate somehow and come up with a plan together. So the other thing about your insecurity, a lot of us have that insecurities about, am I capable? I can't teach all of these subjects. And here's the thing, we don't need to. We don't have to, and we don't need to. Any areas where we feel not super qualified to teach, or I like, for me it's math when it gets into the higher levels. I call myself having math insecurity. It's funny because I got straight A's in math all the way through high school, but it's not an area that I consider as strong as language. So there are curricula options for us for every subject. If you actually didn't want to teach anything, you wouldn't have to, and you would still be a homeschooler. Seriously, you can enroll your kids in full-time online schools and classes and completely have all of it outsourced. I don't want you to homeschool that way, but it's possible. For every single curricula option, subject, coursework, there is a option for you that where you can really delegate the teaching responsibilities and not have to worry about that at all. So keep that in mind as you're planning your coursework. Something that I go over, because we're starting the fail-safe April 3rd, something I go over in the fail-safe is, okay, once you have all of your curricula out there and the plan is all set for your kids, okay, now I ask you, how much of this is parent intensive? Because if you have 4 kids and every single thing you picked on your curriculum, your curricula charts that I give you in the fail-safe workshop is parent intensive, that's not humanly possible. It's not humanly possible to homeschool that way, and it's super expensive. So I coach you through a little bit of that stuff as well.
Cool. Okay, Chris Fuller, Mom of 5. What requirements are needed to go to college if that's what my kids choose? I'm a new homeschooler,
Yes.
and I really want to help my children be successful at what they choose to do.
Yes. Okay, so I want you to listen to the podcast that is dropping tonight on YouTube and tomorrow on all the other podcast platforms. Are they called podcast platforms? Spotify, Apple, whatever. Is that what they're called? Podcast platform. Okay. Because we are dropping an episode with a wonderful person named Amanda Reeves, who homeschooled all the way through before homeschooling was homeschooling and went into Stanford. She got into Stanford and has her degree from there. I want you to listen to that episode. It actually was so great. We split it up into 2 parts. So you'll get part 1 tomorrow. Here's the thing about colleges. Colleges are recruiting homeschoolers like never before. Homeschoolers complete college at a higher rate. Homeschoolers are happier academically in college. And they're not quitting. They are not quitting college at the same rate as other students are. I feel like I'm crooked on TikTok. Okay. So first off, just know that. In fact, you're probably giving your kid an edge simply by homeschooling. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is I advise homeschooling parents to prepare for college the same way I advised non-homeschooling parents back when I had my center and we were doing college counseling. And what you do is you look at the colleges that you would be considering. Do you have to have them all narrowed down when your kid's only 14? No, but it's a good idea to have an inkling of your kids' gifts. Are they going to go more the liberal arts direction? Are they going to go more the science, technology direction? Arts. It's good to have that in mind. And then you look at colleges that would be options, and then you look at their high school coursework requirements. And you simply make sure your kid has all of those requirements. So I want you to look at HSLDA. They have great resources and transcript services. You actually don't need to pay anybody to do your high school transcript, but sometimes for the first kid, it makes parents feel more comfortable. So there are lots of resources for you. If anything, it's an asset to be a homeschooler going into a 4-year college. My children are college bound as well. We would get kids into Ivies all of the time. If anything, homeschoolers have more time to be able to build up we used to call them brag sheets, resumes. I hated that they were called brag sheets, but in LA, that's what we called them. Okay. Yes.
Mika, do you have any tips for getting a spouse on board?
Uh-huh.
She's on Insta.
Yes. Have you gotten my book? I have a whole game plan in my book for getting your spouse on board. So grab my book. It's on Amazon. It's on Prime, and it might still be on sale. It dropped to $21 yesterday. No, Monday. Yeah, I know it was 21, but someone can check. if it's still 21 bucks. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Christy-Faith. We're talking all things education, homeschooling tonight. I'm so glad you're here on the live. Yes.
Any Spanish curriculum that you recommend, or any other for kindergarten?
Yeah, for kindergarten, I would just do a fun Spanish curriculum. You really can't go wrong, honestly, with a kindergartner. They're not really learning conjugations and more complicated stuff quite yet. So I would just find something that's fun and playful at that age.
Okay. Great.
I start formal language instruction with my children at 3rd grade, and we are a Latin family. If you're curious, if you wanted to know. Nobody asked. Nobody asked. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Aaron says, yeah, it's $21.49 on Amazon right now.
Okay, Aaron, yeah, that's such a good price because the publisher price was 27 bucks. And I was like, dudes, why is my book $27? So I'm happy that it's 21. Yeah. Yay! And it is going on Kindle and it's going on audio. But, and please don't throw your phones at me. I am not reading the audio, and it was not my choice. So I just want to prepare you guys because a lot of people are extremely disappointed by that, and they don't want to even read the book on audio if it's not my voice because they're used to my voice, but it's not going to be my voice, and I'm very sorry. And I did not have a choice in that matter. So please don't be hard on me. Yeah.
Jennifer over on Instagram, thoughts on CC? Having a hard time deciding.
Okay, see, she's asking about thoughts on CC. That's Classical Conversations, and that is a nationwide co-op, basically, and they consider themselves classical. It is it's extremely attractive to newer homeschooling parents because they're great at marketing and they are nationwide, and it's a great way to immediately plug into community. So there are, just like with any co-op, it really depends on who the leader is and if you feel comfortable with them or not, because not everyone is a great leader. So I would make sure that you're comfortable in that regard. And you also need to make sure you understand what classical education is, because what often happens with CC is people join and they're like, oh my goodness, my kid can memorize all these things. And then when their kid gets a little older, they're like, wait a minute, this is classical education. This is way more than I bargained for. And they quit. So, yes. So I don't think there's anything wrong. It's a great way to find community, and you just need to, with any community, you just need to be careful with who the leaders are and make sure you feel comfortable. And that's what I will say. We were in CC how many years? That's how I started.
3.
Was it 3? Yeah, it's how I met one of my closest friends who works for me. She is in Thrive, Jessie. She's not here because she's not on social media. I have to send her my videos. Especially when she's in them, she will not see them unless I send them to her. Yeah. So we love Jessie. If you see anything beautiful in Thrive, it's because Jessie did it, because she's this Canva whiz and she's amazing. I love that woman. We were Voxering today. I think I was crying to her today for some reason. I actually was crying to her today.
No, Aaron says, join Thrive.
Oh, Aaron, you're so sweet. I know. She's in Thrive. Yes, Jules, Jessie is fantastic. She's such a close friend of mine, and I'm so honored to have her working for me. In her Christmas card, she actually wrote, we should not be talking about her if she's not here, but I'm just saying wonderful things. She said she had her dream job. Like, that's what she wrote in her Christmas card. I'm going to start crying again. So we have the best team in Thrive Homeschool Community. Marnie, are you here tonight? Marnie sometimes is on Instagram. Marnie. Denise, are you here? We have Jules here. Brittany might not be here. We have an amazing mentoring team in Thrive Homeschool Community. On all of the Zooms, the office hour Zooms, which we have 4 a month, it is me. I have Marnie, who is a certified parenting coach, and then I have Denise, who all of her kids are grown. She's now a grandma. And so the three of us are the ones who coach you in office hours. You guys ask me about Thrive if you're curious, because enrollment is closing next week. So you will not be able to join a week from now. So if you have questions about Thrive, make sure to ask me tonight. It's one of the reasons why I go live more often right now, because I want to make sure that I answer your questions. Yes?
Jake Frenchie on Insta, is Thrive a Facebook group?
No! Girl, no. In fact, one of my things where I have a thing you read when you first join, and I write in it like, aren't you glad we aren't a Facebook group? No, we are in our own separate network, and I'm really happy there. So no, we are not a Facebook group. I'm in those. I don't like them. I'm in free and paid ones on Facebook. And I don't, not for me.
Where could you find out information about it?
Oh. For more information on Thrive, you can go to my link tree. Right now, okay, so you guys know we are closing doors in a week. We're closing enrollment, and there's a reason why. We are starting live the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup. It is an 8-module program that I offer where live together we're going to be walking through the 8 modules of setting up your homeschool for next year. You also have instant access to my 8-step homeschool success framework when you join Thrive Homeschool Community. But right now, we do have to close our doors in a week, and we are offering the best deal we have offered since founding members. So if you are interested, or if you have been on the fence, now would be the time to join, because the price will never be this low. So ask questions tonight while I'm here.
Wagmore Bark Less says, just got your book. I'm so excited to read it.
Yay! I'm so glad you got my book. Woohoo! I can't wait.
How do I homeschool multiple kids? I have a toddler, a 5-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Okay, a toddler, a 5-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So this is what I will say when people ask, how do I homeschool multiple kids? They usually have littles, because when your kids are older, they're a lot more independent. And although you are still involved in quite a bit of the teaching, their days are going at a nice clip because you've set them up for independence. It's when your kids are little, I think those are the hardest years to homeschool, when you have maybe a baby, a toddler, then an emergent reader, and then a young elementary. All those ages are the most time-consuming stages for you to be homeschooling. So one of the main secrets to homeschooling in general is family together subjects. Who does family together subjects in here? I want to know. Write in the comments if you do family together subjects. That is the secret to homeschooling multiple ages. So it is a myth that every subject needs to be grade leveled. They did that when they created mass education, and they separated kids into age groups so that they could have classes. Learning does not happen that way. That is not required. Okay, so things like history and science and literature, those types of subjects are even better done all as a family. So your little one could be doing a coloring page on Galileo, and then your middle one can be doing something else, and your older one can be doing something more complicated, but you're still all doing that same lesson together. There is curricula that you can buy that is designed to be family together, and we talk about a lot of those when I do curriculum coaching in Thrive. So hi everybody, I see my friends are joining. Hello, welcome. Hi Jen. Yay! I know, I forgot to put in Thrive that I'm going live. It's been a crazy day. So I didn't put it in Thrive. I'm going to take this off because I'm perimenopausal. But thanks for the fan.
Wifey.
I got blood work today and the lady was like, are you going to be okay? I was like, girl, I did IVF and infertility treatments. I could take my own blood at this point. I'm good. But I am a bruiser. It's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Wifey says, history and science we almost always did together.
Yes, and it's so fun to do it together, and you have these collective memories, and I hope you're doing history with living books and not textbooks, because it's so much more fun that way.
Kay did it too. I do family subjects for science and history.
Yeah.
Grammy, yes, love family together subjects. Have 9th, 8th, 5th, 3rd, and 1st right now.
Look at you! You should be doing this live right now. Here, stay. Stay here and coach the mamas. They don't need me. Where is she?
Subjects together, unit study, and actually had my 14-year-old and 10-year-old work on amplifying a fable today, and they had so much fun.
Oh, how awesome! Which platform is this a miracle superhero on? Which platform is she on?
She's on Insta.
Okay, you're amazing! Yes, that's so exciting.
Oh, this is so cool. Bonacera, I gave my kids the interview from Thrive, cried at the difference in the answers between my K to 6th.
Yeah, I've had that reaction too, and they surprise you. And one, I want to tell you, what is her name? Bonacera, that the fact that your kids' answers made you cry, to me, that's a testament that you are a safe place for them, because some of those questions, the answers are hard to hear. So if you guys are wondering what she's talking about, I have a student interview and parent reflection exercise that I give you before you start. It's actually the first step of the fail-safe, but before we start any curriculum buying, because I want you to have an understanding of what your kids want and need and what you want for them before you start spending money on things. And maybe you'll end up spending money on the wrong things because you didn't talk to your kids about what they love and what they want more of, what they want less of, what didn't work for them. And I have two separate forms. One is for current homeschoolers, so that's what I would give my kids. They, of course, homeschooled last year. They're homeschooling next year, so it's a current homeschooler one. But I also made sure to include one for new homeschoolers. So if your kid is exiting the system, those interview questions are a little bit different that you're going to ask your child, but you're still going to be doing parent reflections. And that is step 1 of the fail-safe, and that was dropped last week, and I'm so glad that you did that and you've started it. That's so exciting.
Not grass. We loved elementary apology also.
Yes. Yeah.
Laura Milliken, what's the living book? And Jules says, you're bringing me over to the living book side.
Yeah. I am going to bring Jules over. Okay, so living books is an idea that was pioneered mainly by Charlotte Mason. So you're going to, if you listen to Charlotte Mason podcasts or mine, because although I am not a Charlotte Mason homeschooler, I certainly would consider myself Charlotte Mason when it comes to history specifically and science. I love living books. Basically, what a living book is it's something that you use in lieu of a textbook, and you read your kids stories and they learn through stories that change them rather than facts and figures from a textbook. Because when you ask yourself, why am I studying history? Why do we as a society study history? Why is it important? It's not to know the dates. It's actually so we can learn and be changed forever from learning through other people's mistakes and things like that. So living books are not textbooks. It's literature, beautifully written stories by experts in the field that they are writing about. And they can be fiction and they can be nonfiction to be a living book, but they come alive and they ignite a fire within you. You know you're reading a living book if you have an emotional reaction, an emotional change from reading it. So what would Charlotte Mason called non-living books, she used the term twaddle. Twaddle is if you go to the library and your kid picks up Babysitter's Club or Goosebumps, one of those, that's what she would consider twaddle, meaning more of not that robust, not exposing your kid to what is beautiful and good and worthy of pondering and thinking about. That books like that aren't fostering deep conversations at the dinner table with your family. So that is what, in a nutshell, what a living book is. We are planning an entire podcast talking about living books. So look for that in the near future, in the next couple of months. I'm really excited about that podcast.
Erin said, is Story of the World a living book?
No. Story of the World, I think that she would maybe say she is. I would like to have her on my podcast and ask. I would definitely, I would consider that a text. Yeah.
Yeah, Prisgon, really enjoyed your most recent podcast episode.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Who did we drop? Oh, that you just used to listen to Heidi St. John? Yeah. Awesome. That was a great show. She was so fun to have on. I couldn't believe she said yes. Heidi, are you watching tonight? I can't believe you agreed to come on my show. My teensy little show. She was so cool.
Back in the day, we just said Charlotte Mason style for living books. Many free from the library.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brittany, we finished the parent reflection today. Excited for April 3rd.
Yay, Brittany. Awesome. I can't wait to hear how it came out. Is that my Brittany?
That's your Brittany.
Okay.
On Insta.
You're on Insta tonight. Yay.
I started homeschooling my teenager because of all the bullying.
Yeah.
And since I brought him home, he's doing so much better. So thankful for homeschooling.
Oh, awesome. I'm so glad. Anybody in here homeschooling for social emotional health? I'd love to see some hearts. Put in the comments, are you homeschooling for social emotional health? You can write in there, are you homeschooling for academics? I'd love to know. Are you homeschooling? It's so funny. Are you homeschooling? Because people accuse us of indoctrinating our kids. Are you homeschooling to pass on your faith, which you have the right to do in our country, by the way? Because there is no, yes, we should talk. Oh, that's what I want to talk about tonight, worldview. But I don't know if people are interested in talking about worldview. Can you educate your child without any indoctrination? Is that even possible? In fact, I wrote a chapter for this book that I had to take out where I addressed that issue altogether. Can education happen in a values neutral vacuum? And I was over my word count, and that was the chapter that we took out. So, but that doesn't mean that it can't turn into other things or another book or blog posts or anything like that. So
yeah, people are saying they're interested. They want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So let's talk about worldview for a second. This is so fun. Yay. Okay. So can you give an education to a child in a values neutral vacuum? And the answer is no, because education in and of itself is a transference, right? And so you cannot teach without a type of worldview. So what's fascinating to me is that people in the school system or homeschooling critics say, you're just indoctrinating your kid, which actually that makes me laugh because the classical movement is the one that is kind of solely responsible for bringing logic and rhetoric back to education. It's one of the primary goals of a classical education. And as you guys know, classical education is just growing by leaps and bounds. We want our kids to be thinkers, critical thinkers. So the question is, it's not really, can you do this or not? The question ultimately is, now this is going to make you guys feel very uncomfortable what I'm about to say. The question actually is, who should have the control? Because you cannot do an education without some sort of value transference, okay? When we talk about indoctrination, that is something completely different. Indoctrination is where you are punishing for critical thought. You are not exposing to different ideas and things like that. I don't know a single person. I mean, think cult. That's what indoctrination is. I don't know of a single homeschooler who's doing that. But when you kind of look at those characteristics and you look at, put a heart in any of these socials right now, if you ever felt like you had to lie on an essay to make sure you got a good grade, because if you actually told the truth and you actually told your real opinion, you knew that the teacher would punish you and give you a lower grade. Why? Why? Because there isn't a freedom of thought. There isn't a freedom of ideas, an exchange of ideas. In the system, so many kids, they cannot challenge the status quo. So I beg the question, which system, if we were to choose a system that did more indoctrinating than another, would it really be homeschooling? I argue no. So yes, I know it's pretty controversial, but the worldview, so people think the public school system doesn't have a worldview. It absolutely does. It's called, and there's a name for it, it is called secular humanism. That is the worldview of our public school system in America. So take it. Just take it. Fight me on it. Fight me. You can try. Because I've thought about this a lot. Yeah.
A lot of stars from Michelle over on YouTube.
Yeah.
She had an ADHD child that was being bullied by teachers. That's why she brought.
Yeah. And, I hear that a lot. Bullying by teachers. And I never throw teachers under the bus. A lot of us go into that work because we care and we want to make a difference. And there are teachers doing that and they feel called to be in the system. And I'm so glad they're there. That does not invalidate homeschooling, though. We can still, if we can, and if we want to, we can choose homeschooling.
We left, Lolly said we left school for bullying from a student and a teacher.
Yeah.
And we're 3 weeks into homeschooling.
Oh, you're only 3 weeks? Are you in Thrive? I hope she's in Thrive.
Yeah.
Okay.
She says, will you release that chapter separately on your website?
Okay, so the only people that get that chapter are the people in my Thrive book launch team. They are getting that chapter.
Let's see.
And they are the only people right now that are getting that chapter.
Jennifer Edwards said, just finished the Find Your Why portion of the framework.
Yay!
Loved it.
Yay! Awesome! Will you DM me your why statement? I love it when you guys DM me your why statement after you've taken the why. It literally makes my heart smile when you guys do that. If you guys, you need to know that you're not a number in Thrive. I love you guys. I want to know you and your kids' names and help you. We have team meetings every month where one of the topics of the team meeting is who is struggling in our community right now, who needs extra support and help. And we talk about it because we have lots of eyes and ears on the community. We really deeply care about you.
Melissa over on Insta, I'm homeschooling for many reasons, but mostly because school does not take 7 hours, maybe 2, 3.
Yes.
And then we can spend the rest of the day learn at home life skills.
Yes, isn't that great? Yeah, and the skills that really matter and really make a difference in life are more of the soft skills, not the facts.
Michelle, I just found you first year homeschooling.
Yay! Awesome! What platform is she on?
She's on YouTube.
Hi! Awesome! I'm so glad you found me. Yay! And it's her first year?
Yeah.
Okay, how'd it go? How is it going? I know, I feel like I'm wrapping up my year. My twins are finishing their first curricula, one of their curriculas, next week. And then what happens is if we start finishing stuff early, I don't add. I like to reward them. So as the school year ends, they just taper down. But I have to admit that I'm super behind on their grammar. Oh, do you guys want to hear just freedom? Freedom right now. Total freedom. I totally got lazy and then forgot about their grammar. And we are, 6 weeks behind. But guess what? They're going to finish up their writing and then we're just going to do their grammar. And even if I have to do a little bit in the summer, it's totally fine and they're not going to be behind. So it just is what it is. And I forgot to do it because Mama forgets things sometimes and it's okay.
Purple Switch and Aaron are excited about office hours tomorrow.
Yay! Yes, office hours are tomorrow. I believe it's Littles. Can someone remind me what it is tomorrow? It's Littles at 1. Is it preschool to second grade at 1 p.m. and then at night is it teens? Someone remind me what it is. We separate our office hours into
elementary.
Okay, elementary at 1 p.m. Mountain, and then nighttime is teens. Awesome. So we separate you guys into age groups. Yes, another question.
Barefooted Garden. My son is in SPED full time, but I would like to homeschool him. I'm scared I will not know how.
Yes. So I want you to grab, so you see him at the beginning stages, grab my 26-page free How to Homeschool guide. Please grab that. It's completely free. And then that will kind of get those ideas flowing. You can homeschool children who have special needs, who are even in a position like your son where they are in full time. I was DMing a mama today, and that is her situation. She joined Thrive, and we are coaching her through kind of how to do that. Her goals are going to be different. Her goals are different than other parents for her kid, and that's okay. And she needs support and a place to belong, and we are there for her.
Purple Switch, I should have done it differently.
Oh, don't say that. You're too hard on yourself.
I love you. Tomorrow.
Jen Scott singing.
See, she wrote that. It's,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's good. It's good.
You're too hard on yourself, Jen.
No.
She's too hard on herself.
I'm just having fun. Okay, Katie, any thoughts on why schools have this uptick in bullying? If anyone wants me to sing more, just let me know.
Oh, do I have an opinion on why bullying gets worse? Peer orientation. Our culture is peer oriented, and it's considered a disorder. If you ask Gordon Neufeld and Gabor Mate, they wrote a book called Hold On to Your Kids. And the peer orientation is getting worse, and that is why bullying is worse. That's my opinion. That is a great book to buy if you guys have not read that book. Do I have it down here? It's upstairs. I have several copies. They're dog-eared and highlighted. I think more is highlighted than unhighlighted. It's one of my favorite books in the last 10 years that I've ever read.
Michelle back on YouTube. 8-year-old ADHD child. Spent most of the year in the office in public school.
Oh.
Is now reading at 4th grade level. Math, 3rd grade. I am beyond proud of her.
Oh, I am too. I am so proud of her too. Please tell her I said that. That's awesome. You guys have worked really hard to do that.
Joel said societal collapse.
Hello, Erica. I don't know what you missed. What do you want to talk? Oh, you missed quite a bit. We talked about indoctrination and worldview. We talked about peer orientation and bullying, special needs. I want you guys to know that Thrive is closing enrollment in a week. So if you have questions about Thrive, Homeschool Community, and our fail-safe homeschool setup, which we are starting pretty much a week from today, tonight is the night to ask.
Someone says, how do I join Thrive?
So you go to my link tree right here, the little button. I don't know where it is on YouTube, or yeah, you go to my website, and we have the best price that it will never be this low. It's the lowest price since founding members time. And we kind of felt bad. So Scott, it was like this whole big drama. Scott and I had a big conversation on what to do because I just get so overloaded in the spring with all these new people joining and then everybody needing curriculum advice. And so we made the decision that when we start the fail-safe, we're going to close enrollment so that I'm going to be able to give everybody the attention that they need. So, because it's really hard to be doing all of that and onboarding new members and getting them going through the framework and things like that. So we are closing Thrive Homeschool Community, and we are doing the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup live all together starting April 3rd, and we're going all the way until July, early July, and then everyone will be completely set up for their school year. So it's really exciting. Yes. And we have the best deal that we will ever offer again. And it's happening right now, and we're closing in a few days. So if you are, it's not for everybody. So if you have a growth mindset, you'll be very happy and thrive because we grow, we learn, we grow, we have workshops. That is what we do. We want to be the best homeschool parents that we can be. It's also a great place if you're feeling like, can I really do this? Am I going to mess up my kids? Am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? If those questions, am I even qualified? If those questions whirl through your head, you need to join. You need to join because that is my why. That is the literal 8-step Homeschool Success Framework is I walk you through all of that. How do I manage my house? How do I teach all these multiple kids? And then at the end of the day, I want a homeschool that my kids thank me for later, that I actually loved too. So how do we achieve all that? That's what we do in Thrive Homeschool Community. So if any of that resonated with you, then it's definitely a fit. If not, if you're like, Christy, that you sounded crazy, then that's not for you. That's okay. That's okay. I love you. Still stay on this live. We'll still talk and be friends.
People want to know the names of the books. I don't. It might be yours. It might be Gordon Neufeld.
Yeah, the Hold On to Your Kids. That's the Gordon Neufeld and Gabor Mate, the book on peer orientation. It's called Hold On to Your Kids. And if someone could write it on each of the platforms, that'd be great. I think I have people on each of the platforms tonight.
Yeah. Is Thrive geared towards beginning homeschoolers?
No, I have mamas who've been homeschooling a decade that need help. Their kids aren't motivated anymore, or they're feeling burnt out, or they've been homeschooling so long it's just not fun anymore and they need that spark again. So it's not just for new homeschoolers. Thank you for writing that, you guys. Thank you for putting that book in the comments for me, everybody. No trolls tonight. Oh, I had a good troll in my comment section today. I was gracious.
What did they troll you about?
They called me, they name called. They called me a fear-mongering liberty mom?
Something.
Freedom mom?
Yeah. Yeah.
That part doesn't bother me. It was the fear-mongering part, because I'm very deliberate not to be that type of person. But that's okay. That's more about her than me. And I was gracious. I used to get a lot more of that.
Oh, if I'm homeschooling and all the way through high school, how will my kids get into college?
Okay, so if you're homeschooling all the way to high school, your kids get into college the same way kids who are traditionally schooled get into college, which is great. So you just simply do a transcript from your own homeschool, and we advise people the same way now that we advise people back when we were helping kids and doing college counseling, and that is you work backwards. So you kind of look at the schools that you're interested in, and they have required coursework to get into their school, and then you make sure that your high school coursework fulfills those requirements. There's free templates online that you can download that helps you with your high school transcript.
Oh, Jules is your ride or die. Wait, I got distracted. Who am I fighting?
Someone called me a fear-mongering liberty mom?
Something like
Was it? It was on here. It was on TikTok. And I was like, wait, what? Me? Are you insulting me? And she pretty much confirmed that she was. So that's okay. I was gracious. That's more about her. Like, I threatened her. I threatened her somehow. I triggered her.
I used to be scared to homeschool. Now I feel like I can do it.
Yay. I'm so glad. Who said that? Who said that?
I think it's Lil Mother something.
Okay. Awesome.
That's a good one.
How do you find non-school related sports and other team activities? So check out your state, because of course we have everybody has the expensive club sports. We all know that. And then there's always the parks and rec leagues. So that's really great. We have a lot of Christian leagues. For example, Upwards is a big one here in Denver. We've done that league as well. Also, look into your private schools, because sometimes you can take a class at a private school and be eligible to play sports. We have a Christian high school in our area where if you take one class, you're eligible for all the sports, even varsity sports. So there's that option as well. And then there are open enrollment districts where they cannot discriminate against homeschoolers, and so they let you on those teams. let me just tell you something about sports in general. It's often a big, scary fear. Sports and socialization are big, scary fears that people have. I have never met a single homeschool mom who couldn't give her child both the socialization and the sports experience that they wanted for their kids when they were home, that couldn't when they were homeschooling. Yes, I said it correctly. So in fact, I've known a lot of families that homeschool because of sports as well. So.
Well, we are getting close.
Okay.
To wrapping up here.
For example, you can do more competitive sports and pre-pro sports if you want to be that serious. You have more freedom if you homeschool, in fact. So we just interviewed Josh last month in Thrive. We interviewed him and his mama, and he fenced all through high school and had the time to do it because he homeschooled, and then he ended up fencing in college. So that was kind of cool.
How long have you homeschooled?
I have homeschooled a long time because I homeschooled other people's kids before my own. We ran a homeschool at our center. So I have been homeschooling quite a while. Longer than I'd like to admit. I did say I was perimenopausal. I think I'm in full-blown perimenopause.
So, okay. Any other questions? Because we're going to...
Oh, did someone get the gift? Yeah. Did you guys get badges? I was assigning badges this week in Thrive. So, if you guys finish... I got a cowboy hat on TikTok. Thank you. If you guys finished the 8-step homeschool success framework, make sure to go to step 8 and click the button that you finished it because you get a badge. Yes.
Melissa Chrisman, we got into unschooling. My oldest is now 17 and I am in a panic.
Okay. Can you join Thrive? Like boldly ask you to join Thrive? Which platform is she on?
She's on TikTok.
Yeah. Yes.
How do I figure
Alyssa.
out if he has gaps?
Yeah. So I need to walk you through a couple of things to find out where the gaps are and what he needs. And because we don't want doors closed, right? For him. So I need to spend time with you or just book a consultation with me and we can kind of go through everything. I keep getting gifts. Thank you. Like crowns and...
Kelsey Palmer, what is Thrive?
Okay, Thrive Homeschool Community is my community where I have the 8-step homeschool success framework in there. And I also have the fail-safe homeschool setup, which we're starting April 3rd. And both of those things, go to my socials over here and click on it so you know everything that is in Thrive Homeschool Community. It's basically a place where you build a homeschool that your kids will thank you for later and one that you love and are proud of and where you are confident that you're not going to mess this up. You're going to be fine. You are enough. You'll know whether you're doing too much or not enough. It basically is a place, it's kind of insurance. It's like insurance where there's people that you can talk to and classes that you can take to get a whole grasp around what this is. And I know this is supposed to look unique to me, but how do I execute this well where I'm giving my kids an education so no doors are closed for them? And that's a tricky thing to do, especially when everyone out there, including me, is telling you your homeschool needs to be unique. My homeschool shouldn't look like your homeschool. Well, then what do you do? So you're technically like building a house that we don't really know. What Thrive is Thrive is the blueprint. Thrive is that blueprint that helps you build this beautiful custom house that is strong and sturdy and that you love. So that's what Thrive Homeschool Community is. The enrollment doors are closing in a few days. So if you want to join us with the 8-step homeschool success framework or the fail-safe homeschool setup, that's where we make sure you're legal. We help you pick all your curriculum. We're doing that live through the spring all together. That all starts April 3rd. That's a week from tomorrow. We are closing enrollment. So if you need help, if you are feeling really insecure, you're worried about messing this up, you want to make sure you're legal and set everything up correctly, then now is the time to join. The sale right now is the lowest price it will ever be. It's as low, it's not as low, but it's the lowest it's been since founding members' time. So it will not be lower than right now, and we are closing soon. So that's what Thrive Homeschool Community is. If you're not ready for that, which is totally fine, look at my social, look at my bio here, because I have really good freebies. I have a 26-page how to homeschool guide. I have a 5-minute homeschool style finder completely free. Yes, there's a question.
Kelsey says, is it for unschooling?
Okay, so Kelsey, it is unschoolers. Yes, we have unschoolers in there. However, if you are a radical unschooler, you will be happier in a radical unschooling group. Because I'm a big believer in, there's a couple things that, although I love unschooling and interest-led, there are a couple of things that prevent me philosophically from being a radical unschooler. So if that is what you are, then a different community might be a better fit for you. But if you are an interest-led, so there's a difference between being a radical unschooler and an interest-led homeschooler. Interest-led means you want your kids to have that foundation. You don't want doors closed for them, so you want them prepared, but you still want to honor their interests. That is a total fit for Thrive. In fact, I would categorize myself in that way very much too. So we honor kids. We want intrinsic motivation. We want to honor their interests. We want to be unschooly. But we are not a radical unschooling group. I'm so glad you asked that. That's a great clarification question.
We're homeschooling our son, and your videos have encouraged us.
Yay!
Your book is not on Kindle. When will it be?
Okay, so I think it's going to be on Kindle within a couple of weeks. I know it's going on Kindle, so a couple weeks. I'm sorry. I know people keep asking. Okay, I think we're going to end. So thank you so much for joining me on tonight's live. I love you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you later.